This is Melody. I am a member at the support boards for ProBoards. There have been concerns lately about navigating through the new admin section on version 5. So I have taken the privilege of creating a video and showing the basics on how to navigate through the admin area. I have pulled up my own ProBoard site, and this is just a test site, so if people really want to stalk me onto this forum, that's up to you. First off, to get to your admin section, you click on the admin on the menu bar. Pretty self-explanatory. This is similar to version 4. What's different is that instead of it bringing you to an area where you can see your normal form and the same colors apply, you are brought to this white page with options on it. To begin with, you have your settings. Sorry, I was waiting for it to go into the actual settings section. If you want to change general settings to form settings, such as the name of your form, you go and click on the form settings that was underneath the settings. You can also do other things in here, the time format for everyone, the default one, and just look through these options to see what you want to tick and what it does. This is a cool feature right here. When you log into your form, it will ask you for your email and then password, or your account and password, and then you choose which account you want to log into throughout which ones you have registered underneath the same email. You can change the colors of that. So the default is the ProBoards colors, which is blue, white, and orange, but you can change each color. For example, you can change the blue to a pink, and the orange can turn into a blue. And you can just mess around with that and find colors that you like. And of course this saved. I did not want it to save, but oh well. No use crying over spilled milk, I guess. Close enough. And after somebody registers, they can be directed to a page. So for example, if you want them to read the rules, you can put that link into there and they'll be directed there. Going back to your settings, you can also mess around with the calendar. Who can view the calendar, who can create an event, if it's enabled, and that's pretty much it on that one. Then you have your newsfeed. You type in each one that you want, and you can change the order. So you could type out all your messages, and say if the second one you wrote, you want that one to be on the top, you can click and drag it and make it go to the top. And that's it on that one. Back in the settings, there is also the shout box that you can modify. You can enable it or disable it. Minor stuff to modify the chat box. Back to underneath settings, you can go to censored words. So if you really don't want a bad word to show up, you can replace it with a different word and be like, good. Yeah. Turn the bad word into something good. Of course, that's saved. Autosave. That's one thing about this too. There's a lot of auto-saving. So if you forget to save something or you suddenly lose connection, it's going to be saved. Most likely. There's a few things that doesn't autosave. And reserved names, so that way if someone's trying to sign up with a certain name, they cannot because somebody else. Or you don't want them to sign up as a bad word. You don't want bad words on your site, and you don't want someone to make an account with that word. You can put it here. And that way no one can sign up underneath that name. That's for what's in the settings. Hopefully you can understand that, and if you don't, feel free to message me or any other staff member on ProBoards. They're always willing to help, and I say that from my own personal experience. They are great with it. Themes. Now this is where people really get confused because you have 4 different sections, you don't know where to go, and you don't know how to do it. Underneath Theme Manager, you're basically starting your skin that you want. So right now it's just default because that's all I have on this form. I haven't started any. You can modify images. You can change the images you see and put in a link or upload an image. Here's the cool thing about version 5 that did not exist for version 4. You can have your default groups and ranks that will show up automatically, but then for certain skins you can change it so that's different. You can even make it so that it's different group members or different colors in the stars or different amount of stars. So it can be different for each skin what it looks like for the group members or for the colors of the stars. So for example, if on your default skin you want the administrator to be red, great, go for it. But then underneath a different skin, you might want the administrator to have a purple star instead. Find it. Might want to have a purple star instead, so this way purple star will only show up on the specific skin that you want it to. And of course I don't want to change it completely, so I'm going to change it back to red. You can create a new theme. You can copy an existing one or import an existing one. Copying an existing one will copy one of your current themes on the site, and that way, say if you wanted the same thing as in the different one but just minor differences, you can make it. Importing, you download one that someone else has done elsewhere, you download theirs, and you place it into here. Now that's going into further stuff that most of you probably won't do because you want to create your own. If you get to the point where you want to import an existing theme and you're confused on how to do it, again, feel free to ask me or any admins. Creating a new theme, click on the Create New Theme, you choose it, give it a name, and of course I'm just doing testing, and you save and continue. So here's my new one. I have the default one originally on here, and my Mellow Test one, and Mellow's just a nickname that's given to me. You can give it a description, display forum name, logo, or title. If you say display logo, that means that any logo you have on here is what will be displayed. So for example, just make it simple, I will use one of my own pictures that people recognize me with. So here's that logo, and it automatically saves. You don't have to do it. Once you upload it, it's saved. So I could say display logo. Again, I could make the stars different for an individual group. And that's how you basically start your theme. To modify your theme, again, I'm using Mellow Test, so be sure to look at which skin you're modifying. And you see here in the right hand, it will show you what's being changed as you do it. So my logo is showing up that I already set earlier. A cool thing about this is that there are pre-made colors here. So say if you see one that you like, oh, these colors are so awesome, I want my skin to look similar to that. There you have it. However, if you're looking at it and you say, I like this theme and color, except for I don't like this red back here. You can go to Customize Theme Colors. You find that red, and you change it to something else that you would like. Say if you wanted more of a blue. Press OK and apply color scheme, and you have blue instead of that red. So you have your basic colors that they already set up for you, and it makes it easier, and then you only have to choose a few colors to change. And that's the basics of that. This will change some of the things that does with your colors and alignment. banner color, say if you want it, go completely crazy, let's go to yellow. It will change the banner on the top yellow. And if you don't like that image that's being used with the swirls in the background, oops, you can choose either upload one that you already have or choose one that they have made already. It's pretty cool techno board-like theme there. So that's really cool how you can customize your banner. It makes it simple. You don't have to do a lot of research on how to do it. You can go through, see which ones you like. For example, I'm going to leave it on the tech board while I do this. Your banner position is this part right here where it looks like a tech board. You can make it look slightly different by moving it around as such. Right now it's for the text logo. So the logo banner that I had, it was off to the left and now it's to center. You can change the position by doing it like that. Your form width, if you really think it's too fat or too skinny, you can mess around with the pixelations there. Gradients will change what it looks like on top of your boards, which is called a category. So general, the legend, the forum statistics, and right up here on the menu bar, by changing the gradients underneath style options, that's what it will change. Your form background you can change as well. Say if you want something that's not just plain normal, or you can upload your own image by pressing the button with the paper and an arrow. Then you save changes and you have it done. Actually, I'll save changes. Why not? That's for the easy theme creator. And going back underneath themes, you can do more with your skin by going underneath colors and styles. This, for a new user, it's still not that hard. Again, don't forget to change which skin you want to modify. This is easy for even new people, but a little bit more advanced. It goes more in depth. You can change your form background, the color, the background image, which this is the same as the last place we were in. It had the same options, so you have two places you can change it. And the only reason why, one of the reasons why it's different here is because it's going more in depth. So that's the only difference. For example, the background, currently it's so that as you scroll down your form, the background moves with you. You can make it so it's fixed, and by doing so, every board you see will move, but not the background. See how the background does not move? You can select if it's repeated or not. If it's not repeated and your image is small, it's just going to show up in the upper left-hand corner, and that's it. You can repeat it only horizontally or vertically. So it's only across the top for this one. Repeating it vertically, it's only on the left. So if you had a style where you wanted it plain except for one part of it, that's a pretty cool feature. Or repeat the whole thing. The background position, so again, if you're repeating it horizontally, you can change the position so that it's in the middle. Or down at the bottom even. Anywhere you would like it. The width, again, is in here, just like the last one. Your form text can change the colors, style, weight, size. You can even change the family. So one of my favorites is Lucetta console. And I'll just change the text decoration, smalls. It's pretty self-explanatory. And again, if you don't understand what one of these options are, you can ask me or anyone else in the support board. Your pages, you can customize categories and the names. So that one changed to transparent, did not mean to do that. Otherwise, that changes the text right there. Do it. So blue, it'll change what word you see here on boards or categories. Descriptions, you can change the color. So right now it's black, and if I wanted it red, which I don't know why it keeps going to transparent. I'm guessing that's a glitch, a bug that will soon probably be fixed. You can change the moderator's color. So when it says moderators, what color will that be? Column alignment, anything that you see in here, it can shift it to the right, back to the left. Threads can do the same thing, so once you click into a board and there's a thread, you can do that. However, there's no threads on here, so your info center you can change. It's pretty self-explanatory again. So just mess around with that. If you're not satisfied, don't save it. The advanced, I'm not going to get into this because this is for people who really know what they're doing with coding and they can actually go into a coding and modify and add it. Now you might go on support somewhere and see something where you can change the coding and they'll give you step-by-step instructions on how to do it correctly without messing up the rest of your form. I recommend reading those directions carefully. You can change this. If you just modify it just right, you can mess up the whole form. Not to scare you away from it, but this is for the people who really are into coding and would rather change the style. But pretty much anything you can do in here, you can still do on those other options you have. It's just based on how you prefer changing your form. That's your themes and your structure. Much like version 4, you're going to create your categories and boards here. So how there's already a journal board, you create a new category. Say this is the test one. This is the name of your category. And this is what it's going to show up as once you get it created. So on the actual site, who can access it? Is it hidden? The whole shebang. Again, if you don't want it above a previous board, you just click and drag. Well, it should be that way. Just gotta get it just right. So how it says test. Again, your testing board, it says testing board. This is just a quick general name so that you know what it is when you create your first one. And then the display name is what everyone else will see once it's done the actual form. And again, these are just testing, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete it. The cool thing too is when you delete anything on version 5, a lot of the times they'll ask you, are you sure you want to delete it? And by doing so, you have to type the word delete, and I acknowledge once that is deleted, these items cannot be recovered in any way. However, even though it says that, you can go to support and ask for it to be recovered, but there's going to be a fee for that. I think it's around $20 usually, so be prepared for that. Alright, categories. Anyway, So that's how you create a new category. Create new board. It's the same thing. You choose where you want it. So you can do it as a subboard into general board, or you can do it as a new board in general board. So say if you wanted to create a new board that would end up underneath this category, general board, you check that. Sorry, I forgot about that. So you want to create a new board within the general board. Introductions is a normal one that a lot of people will do. You add a description. Your permissions. Click apply. Labels. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not so knowledgeable on this part of it because, again, a lot of us are learning. So we'll just see what that does. So your introductions is now in the general board. And say if you don't want it above the board before, again, you click and drag where you want it. Once that's done, you have your board. It's there. Verify you want to delete this. Again, delete. I acknowledge I want to delete this. So that's how you create your categories and boards. Your headers and footers, so far I've noticed that it's really not needed because of the plugins. And say in version 4 you had all these codes you wanted, you can try and mess around and see if it'll work here again. And I've noticed a lot of them don't, honestly. You want to be focusing on the plugins a lot of times. But these are here in case you do find a header or footer that will work with version 5 and you want to plug it in. Or if you have a chat box, for an example, I'll quickly show you that. This is one of my main site. So for example, with the headers and footers, you can even include a chat box in certain places on the site, certain boards. So that's just the one I have. Custom pages. This is something I really don't feel like spending time getting into, honestly. But if this is something you do want to learn, again, let me know and I can help you through it. I don't want to take too much time on this. I can't remember a real done structure. Again, this right here is going to be the advanced coding. And basically, if you know what you're doing with your coding, you probably don't even need this tutorial. So I'm just going to let that one be. Your plugins. If you want to put a plugin in, you can go to the support board, find a plugin that someone has, and you download it. Once it's downloaded, you press on import plugin over here, choose file, and you find wherever you had it saved. So for example, I have collapsible shoutbox saved in here already from previous times, or the ProBoard sidebar is a good one. And what the ProBoard sidebar does is create this side menu right here. So if you wanted that, I do recommend it. It's really cool. Don't forget to enable it. It's not going to be enabled until you click here to enable it. You can make it appear on the left or right side for this one specifically. And you can type in what you want here. The title of the section you are. So this is testing. And we love ProBoards. I'm doing random stuff on here. Thank you for the plugins. And then automatically it will add a new section. This is testing number 2. Hi, my name is Melody. And it is. So the more that you keep filling in boxes, as soon as you start filling in one box, a new one will appear. So you can have unlimited boxes, practically. Once you have that saved, of course the board can't be found. I deleted it. It will show up here on the side. Your testing 1 and your testing 2 that I was doing. If you find that the width is too small, you can change it to medium or large or custom. So for me personally, I think the medium one is a good one if you do get this plugin. And I'm just showing you this plugin as an example of what plugins can do, and these are just features you add to the site. And honestly, I'm going to delete it because this is my test site. So part of that testing is just showing you guys what each one does. Your members. Much like version 4, you also have a section called members. And I don't think people realize this, but in version 4, it looked very similar. It didn't look like this, but it had the same idea where you had categories of settings, and then you go into settings and you find, and underneath that settings title, you find each link of what you want to change. The difference here is that it seems more confined, and for me it's easier to find. You can go to your members, and in here, this is where you can change member groups. The administrator, say if you don't want the administrator's name to be administrator, you can make it ruler or owner. And the description, by giving a description, by giving a description, see how the name changed to ruler/owner. And when you give a description, you can go to groups, and it already has a short text that tells you what this position is. So this person owns the site, and that's what I did for that one. I'm going to change it back to administrator though, with no description. By doing that, going back, it says administrator, and now there's no more description here. So that's what that will do. Now if you wanted to add someone to this group, or remove someone to a group, like the moderator, if you want to manage it, you could be like, Melody, I'm going to add you to this group. Add to this group. Sorry, I had a hiccup. And now next, when you see this, you're going to see that part of groups you're in, or the member that you're modifying, is now in that group. Now, I'm the administrator, why would I want to be the moderator too? So I'm going to remove myself from that group. You can also manage group, and by doing that, you can select a leader. And leaders are the ones who's pretty much in charge of the other ones in that group, or the to-go person, or however you want to make it. You can add people to the group by typing in their username, or you can ban people so that they cannot give anything. They cannot get into it. You can also edit the group powers. You can do it through here or here. Doing it through here, I find it's a little bit quicker and simple. You go find members and your groups, and then you click edit. You can say yes, no to anything. And then global, if you say no, you're going to have less permissions you can edit, but if it's a yes, there's a longer page on what they can and can't do, and you just go through and say, do you want the members to do these certain things? It's very much like version 4, self-explanatory, and again, if you don't get it, do feel free to ask me or anyone else. That's what the support board is there for. member ranks. Aside from groups, these are groups that you can have people be part of by either adding them to it yourself or having them want to be added to it, which I'll quickly explain what I mean by that. Within a group, you can make it private. Okay, you can make it open, petition, private, or hidden. If you set it to open, it means anyone can join it without any permission. So anyone can click join this group by going to the groups page in their profile. Petition means they send a request to join it, and the leader of that group decides whether or not they can join it by simply accepting it, saying yes, they can, no, they can't. They decide. Private means you cannot ask to be a part of it. Well, you can through a personal message if you really wanted to, but you cannot ask to be a part of it. There's not a simple button to click to ask that sends an automatic message that says, I want to be a part of this group. Private means someone sets it. They go to your and staff member goes to your profile themselves and set it so that they can be a part of that group. Hidden means that no one can see this group, no one can know who's in this group, it's secret. Now, for example, for hidden, I use hidden on my form here for my other accounts. I make them all admins, but you can't tell because it's hidden. So if I go to any of my other accounts, they are technically admins because they have this admin section, but no one knows that. And I did that just because it's my other accounts and people know it's me, but this way they're not intimidated by seeing a lot of staff members underneath that account. So my accounts is underneath this. It's hidden. No one can see it. No one can look at these accounts and know they're part of these accounts and what they can do. It's very secretive in that sense. Your member ranks, I never did finish that. Basically, you decide the name that people can get once they reach a certain amount of posts. On support.proboards, for example, theirs is an extended list where the top rank is around 25,000 posts, which is part of the furniture, if I remember right. I'm at 1,000 posts on there as of making this video, so I'm a senior member. And you can change the title. Instead of saying God, you can say ruler. You can say, instead of senior member, you can be like captain, lieutenant. It depends on the theme of your site and what you want it to be. And you can add more. And the more that you add, more spaces will show up for you to use. Custom profile fields. This is an iffy thing to describe a little bit, but basically, field name, if you want to do, if you're doing a role play site and you want to add to people's profiles a certain thing such as money, so say money, you want people to know how much money they have. You choose what type it is, text field, drop-down selection, radial checkboxes. So I say text field if you're going to do money because you're modifying it. Will it show up? Members profile only, mini profiles only, or profiles and mini profiles? And who can edit it? Staff with power, for example. Yes, only staff with power can edit this. Especially if it's something to do with money. You don't want people to be able to edit their own money and how much they have. Now if I did that right, you go to someone's profile, you edit the profile. I think it should be underneath staff options. I haven't messed with this too much. No, this is all about learning. There's different tabs here, and it gets used to, where do I go? So there we go, money. So only staff with power can do this. So for money, say 300. Yeah, you've earned 300 money because you did so-and-so, and who knows what you did for it. Go back to the main profile, it shows how much money they have, and if they make any posts too. Quickly do that. So even in the post, it says how much money they have. And so this could work too if you wanted to see, if you wanted in the profiles for people to know what creature they are, if it's a certain type of role play, or what powers they have, or what level they are. The level one I think is especially cool to mess around with. It's an interesting idea. So mess around with that. You can add as many as you want. Again, the more you add, more will show up, more blank spaces to do. Form avatars. You can do default avatars that people can choose from, for example. Mess around on that. Reserved names. Again. Band members. This is where you would access those who are banned and moderate those who are banned. Going back to members. Can email all members. Now here's something cool about version 5. You can email specific members by typing in their username. Specific groups. You add a group, say I want to email this to only administrators and global moderators. Yeah, we can go and do that. To all staff. So anyone who's considered staff when you set up those groups. Or to simply everyone. And yes, my email is seen here, but honestly, if you want to go and bother me in my email, go for it. I don't check it. It's only used for pro boards. So have fun with that. Anyway, that's for the member section. Going back to the admin home page, you have your security. Like version 4, you have a security log where you can go through and see exactly what has been happening. So if someone edited a user, deleted a member group, for example, I deleted moderator, or deleted the following members in the group. So you can go through here and see what people have been doing, and you keep a track. That way you know if your admin team is doing what they're supposed to be doing or not, or abusing power. Band members is here again, so censored words. Forum cleanup. Can find all posts, threads, personal messages. So posts by everyone, everywhere, anytime, within anyway. One post, you can verify to delete it or mess around with there just to see what you can do. Find all of the posts by a specific member. So say if you had someone come on and totally just spam your site and there's so many posts from it and you just want it all deleted. You say, okay, any posts or threads or personal messages started by me, I'm using me as an example, anywhere in any or you can do specific boards, but everywhere, anytime, calculate total, there's 2 posts and threads. Do you want to delete it all? Well, yeah, because they spammed my site and it was very bad language. I don't want to hear it anymore. You can do that. So that creates it so that everything's deleted and it's as if they never existed. Then you can go and delete their account or anything like that. So by doing that now, this test thread I made is now gone. Nothing's there. If you don't delete the member, the posts stay. I had 2 other posts from another time I was messing around on here, so again, this is my test site, something I'm going to be using if I want to figure out how something works. Reported posts. If a post is reported, it will end up in here in this section, and you can go through and look at it, see the archive, see what's active. Kind of wish I didn't delete that post now because I want to show what happens when you report a post. And yes, you can hear me typing. So if you go through and you find a post and you don't like it, you can report it. Oh. See, the thing is, oh, there it is. What's the reason? Okay, this is spamming. Whatever you want to put for your reasoning. Blah, 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 blah. This is why this post should be deleted. I feel offended. That kind of stuff. Report post. Once a post is reported, an admin or a moderator who has the power to look at these reported posts will get notification in the admin section. Go to the admin section. There is one report post that needs to be dealt with. Okay, so you see here that somebody reported this post. Somebody wasn't happy about it. Why weren't they happy about it? You go look at it. This is the post, my testing post. This will show if the user has any staff notes. So if they had previous wrongdoings with the staff and you put in the staff notes, you can see it here automatically and compare it. It will show who reported it. Reason reported it is exactly what I had typed earlier, right there. Spamming, blah, 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 gibberish. Staff discussion. You can begin a staff discussion. You can, no action. You can send a PM, disable account, or ban user. Disable account, you can say yes. What you type here will be added to the staff notes for this user. If the PM box is checked, it will also be messaged to them. So you can click to ban user. There have been no suggestions for resolutions for this report. That's what this discussion would probably go into. I think this is not spam. No action. Let's go for that. So here's your suggestion. No action. And then the staff discussion. Yeah, I think this is not spam. Someone else could be... I'm gonna delete that. Someone else can post and reply and say, this is spam and offending, blah, blah, blah. I think we need to send a PM. And it will show up here. Send PM. Etc., etc., etc. And this goes on if you really want to chat with them. Take immediate action. You can remove reported post, move entire thread, lock thread, delete reported post, or delete entire thread. So even if someone says, yeah, this is in the wrong area, it shouldn't, say if you're creating a character for role-playing and they already put in the accepted board, say, no, this shouldn't be an accepted board, it should be in the creation board. Anyway, you can move that. You can delete entire thread. Wait, did it work? Or am I lagging? Okay, it's already worked. Anyway. Resolution, you can archive this report. Okay, it's done. Whatever. We don't care about it anymore. Active reports would be here. Your archive is here. I'm going to delete it because, again, this is all testing. So you can keep up with that. upgrades to your account. You can pay for certain features, ad-free, custom domains, file storage, manage attachments, change your form URL, and your account, your existing subscriptions. This is the one. Account settings. I have no subscriptions or history, but you can click on that and go to your forms and you can see a list of all the forms you're a part of. And 3 notifications and support. That's interesting. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show, so you guys could get an idea. And again, if you have any questions or concerns, be sure to please ask me or any other staff member that might know the answer. And I hope that this video has helped you to understand version 5 better.